Tonight, MetLife Stadium. It's a special prime A Sports.
Well, we have a cold, bad evening to be without a parka, but we are set for football at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, it's on to Week 10 already, and Week 4 between the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Jets. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. They will be led out by the 6-foot lefty from Alabama. It's Tua Tagovailoa.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on a few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Here's Murray now as they run it to start the drive. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now a play fake. Here's Tagovailoa. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Roquan Smith in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. And I don't think this is the script they had in mind for their opening drive. This is 3rd and long. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Thought they were going to force a 4th down. Instead, P.I. gives them the first.
And that's frustrating because you think you've taken them really deep into the count, haven't you? Instead, you've got to start all over. That can really, really be demoralizing.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. Behind the chain, 2nd and 12. Now a handoff here to his running back. And yet again, he stopped by his Vikings defense. 3rd and 15 coming up after that loss of 2. 3rd and 15 here after the 1st and 2nd down plays went in the wrong direction. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Able to convert on 3rd and 14. A terrific play call.
Hey, they're scared. They're scared. Hey, check. Mike 50, Mike 50.
Tua now on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They'll contain him to just 4. 2nd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. From the gun, it's Tua. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Makes the score Jets 3, Vikings 0.
In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a look here at their go-to guy under center.
In his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl. All right, no touchdowns, no interceptions, but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
He's tackled at the...
In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snoot full, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he gets this all the way inside the Jets 20 into the red zone. A big play there for Minnesota. 51 yards.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal range with designs on getting more than that.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. Give to Cook out of the gun. Now a flag comes in from the umpire after a gain of about 4. And this looks like it's going to be holding.
Oh, come on, baby.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
Cook following the penalty. And he's able to break out of 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup. It'll be second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. They'll run with Cook, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Dalvin Cook with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings have taken the lead.
The kicker on.
A solid blocking up front from the guys on the offensive line allowed him to get in for the touchdown.
Yeah, some might say that the guys on the offensive line were in concert. I used to have a coach who called it marrying up. Meaning, when you get on a guy, you just stay right there, and each guy has his own assignment. That allowed the runner to make the big move towards the end zone.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down.
Hide on the coverage.
Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Let's go, Mike 50. Mike 50.
Throwing is Tagovailoa on third down here. He's got a man open. It's Chase Claypool. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
That was a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
The Jets on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And nearly picked off there, almost intercepted. Instead, 2nd down.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They can't hang with us. Mike 55. Right there in the middle. 55. Oh, you got to go.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. Complete. Jefferson the target. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. A nice job there, Charles. They picked up the blitz, were able to complete the pass.
That had the total feel of a quarterback in control. Red blitz, got him into the right protection scheme, so he doesn't get hit back there. He's got a chance to step up with supreme confidence and deliver it downfield for a nice completion.
That throw into the arms of Allen. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a 1st? Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
It's a gain of...
Well, that was something to behold there. You might expect runs like that from a kick returner or wide receiver, but that's your quarterback hitting top speed. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up. He's got his man. It's taken in for a Viking touchdown. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. CD for them. This has just been an offensive explosion here in the 2nd quarter.
Yeah, held scoreless in the 1st quarter. Now they find the end zone again here in the 2nd. Sometimes you just have to have some patience. A lot of people think it's always an adjustment. You have to change what you're doing. Sometimes you just have to do your game plan just a little bit better. And I think that's part of what we're seeing here.
Extra point right down the middle. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
25-yard line.
The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense.
The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside.
You're not ready. Mike's 50, Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Hey, keep it up, keep it up. Check 26, check 26.
On second down, Tua. Quick hitter here, it's complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down.
Watch the pass, watch the pass. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. I got him. Mike's 50.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's bodies in the area, an interception can result.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
If you didn't know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Jets. And this, let's face it, an important drive if they're going to get back into this ballgame.
Think about going into the locker room down 21-10 as opposed to 21-3. 21-10, a little more optimism, a little more bounce around the locker room, a little more discussion about how they're going to finish this thing off. 21-3, I think discouragement clouds that locker room.
Yeah, and I think a touchdown much bigger than a field goal on this drive just to get into the end zone and get that momentum. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. Back complete. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. First and 10 here. You know, if they could just get 3 out of this, there's something about narrowing it to a 2-score game at half that makes it feel like much less of an obstacle. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
At the 47-yard line. A gain of 5 brings up second and 5.
Hey, check, Mike 50.
Tua setting up shop to throw again. Completion here to Claypool. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Let's get this ball back.
Here's Tagovailoa on first and 10, and that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Come on, you serious, dog?
So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one. This is the correct call.
And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. A well-executed 22-yard gain. Now they'll run. Murray. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. from 4 yards out. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Until that late score here in the second quarter, they only had the field goal. So that's just big to see that football get into the end zone.
Yeah, when you look at the scoreboard now, nothing seems out of reach. They've been outplayed in the first half. But when the clock hits zeros as they head into the half, you know what I do as the head coach?
What?
I tell my team to sprint to the locker room to show that we've got the momentum and show that we're right back in this game.
25-yard line.
Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. And they must have seen something leading up to this one that said, hey, we're going to be able to go deep, because they've gone deep with a lot of success.
And pick your phrase, pick your code words, your buzzwords, whatever, vertical stretch, deep passes, go routes, right? What's that route you love? What's that route you love?
4 verts.
4 verts. All of it working because they're able to find ways to get deep, and for him to show off that big, big arm.
We see some of that big arm right here. He has been great.
Watch the boot. Check 55 to Mike. Check 55.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, going for Jefferson down. He's got a man. Complete. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. He'll drop to throw. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
Brings up
so on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
That's fielded on the back line of the end zone. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee, and they'll bring the football out to the 25. The white flag coming out as they line up to kneel on it. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, there you have it. Halftime quickly over. Third quarter, here we go. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And no fireworks to start the half. This will be a touchback. So here are the Vikings to take over. They've gone 2 months without a loss, 8 straight wins for them. And they've got the lead here in this one as well, trying to make it 9 in a row.
Hey, let's get some penetration here. Let's get some penetration.
Starting the third quarter with Cook. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 12 yards there and a first down.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 44. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
Brandon, what were they thinking on defense there? That looked like they were playing for the pass. That was 3rd and short. Yeah, it was an easy pickup because they handed it to him. That was way too easy.
Just looked like absolute confusion defensively. Not sure why they were in that set.
Yeah, I'd say you ought to have a few men in the box there.
And they'll wind up getting this. All the way down inside the 20. Boy, Dalvin Cook just so explosive in the open field. He's not a small guy either, but once he gets those legs churning, look out.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Check 59.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. They'll roll him out right. That is caught at the 7. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. He continues to deliver a 1st down here. He had 4 catches in the first half, and this one number 5. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the...
And he'll get in. He's over for the touchdown. It's their quarterback, keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the 3rd quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up.
Mike 50, Mike 50. I can't believe you let you
Throwing now is Tagovailoa, and this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Hey, we got four down.
Tua going to throw. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Jalen Smith drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Dalvin Cook taking the field for the Vikings' next possession. He's had a good performance, moved the ball effectively on the ground. Of course, he has the 1 touchdown.
And when you're able to move it as effectively as you've described, that leads to finding a way into the end zone, and now he's just trying to do it for a second time. And, of course, with that comes additional yardage.
Yeah, looking for additional yardage, and again, that second score here in the third quarter. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Oh, man, come on.
So that one a hold right guard.
And you understand why offensive and defensive linemen probably go to martial arts schools and work on their hands so often, because that can be the make or break difference on a play. This time he had to grab a jersey in order to make the play happen. Got caught for the penalty.
So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Now back to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down.
59, Mike.
Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 36 yards on the play.
Just more of the same there, partner. Guys have just been running free in the secondary this entire game. No pass rush, a lot of passes completed. Been an easy day for them.
So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Keenan Allen, the intended target, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
It's now 2nd and 10.
Mike is back. 59. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings. Davante Adams, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage. And on that one, able to catch it, also able to have the wherewithal to take it in for the score.
And how about the phases of a successful catch and a completion of a play? Look the ball in, secure the catch, and then, of course, the run after the catch that ends up in the end zone.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll increase their lead to 28. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They run with Murray, and he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
2 yards on the pickup. It's 2nd and 8.
Check. Check out.
1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50. You must be dreaming.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Jalen Smith able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19.
Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Here's Tua. And that will be incomplete. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
The ball carrier. The tackle made at the 44-yard line. A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. They run it again with Cook. And he's going to get this down close to a first at about the Jets' 39. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
He's brought down.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
1-yard gain brings up 2nd and 9.
Pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet.
From the gun, it's a give to Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. A gain of 13. It's a first down. No doubt those are the types of carries they're looking for here, Charles. The lead in the 4th quarter. This is when coaches that have a reliable running game, they breathe a little easier on the sideline.
Yeah, they love the idea that they can take the air out of the football at this point of the game. That means they're really counting on that offensive line, counting on the runners, taking care of the football. Because you're going to tell your quarterback, hey, no time to be a hero. We're not going to throw it here. Just eat up that clock. And if you have the ball, they can't score.
Looking for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Finally, a good play there defensively on the deep ball. The secondary has had its struggles this entire game. Offensively, they've had their way with them.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. They'll be brought down at the 21 after a pickup of 4.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he won't get there. They stop him a few yards short of the line to gain. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Jets are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Big yardage that time for the Jets. 41 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
Let's go. Let's go.
So it's Jets football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Any day. Mike 50, Mike 50.
On 1st down, Tagovailoa. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Stop, baby.
Tua sets up to pass it. And he comes back with one complete. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
What was that, Ruff?
Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Here's a throw right side taken in by his tight end. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation.
Let's go.
Able to hit his target, Claypool. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Chase Claypool, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the fumble recovery leads to... And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Uh-oh, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way to the end zone for the touchdown.
And that'll cut the lead back now to 21. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. So it would no doubt be a miracle comeback from here, but let's see what they can do starting with the onside kick. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game.
And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
3 buzz. Mike's 5'9", Mike's 5'9". Hey, watch the ball.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he almost intercepted it. They haven't picked a ball off yet. That probably should have been their first. And it's 3rd down now.
Yo.
They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first. They get 12 yards back, but it still leads to a 4th and long. They had quite a hole to dig out of there on 3rd and long. Not able to get the first, but a pretty good size run.
A really good run. But how much confidence do you have in your next play call that you can sell to the head coach? Let's go get it on 4th down. Do you really have a play you believe in? Or are you just hopeful? And you got to sell it to the big man before it gets called.
A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. to throw now on first down. This is caught, and he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Justin Jefferson, his second touchdown of the game, giving him 12 on the season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead.
Well, business as usual for them. Well on their way to another victory. Riding a serious wave of momentum from what we've seen. And so far, they haven't met their match. So if you're going to play this team in the future, your mission is clear. You better be ready to play and match their firepower.
And that'll increase their lead to 28. 5 plays there on that drive. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded a couple yards into the end zone. And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
At their own 30-yard line.
Back on offense, New York gets set to take over. Let's just pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. Tua to try again on second down. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. On is the punter man as he boots this one away. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And control of the football switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come out here. Come get some.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Going deep here for Allen. And that will be incomplete. Looked like it might have been intercepted, but he's out of bounds. And a good thing, too, probably. That would have cost him yardage. And now they'll get the ball back on the turnover on downs. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Vikings, the train just keeps rolling. 9-0 now to start this campaign. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Miami next week. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they are barely afloat as they fall to 4-5. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.